Hello, it's Vass here from Aussie Playground and welcome to another unboxing. This unboxing is a little bit special though because it's a bit of an exclusive, at least as of the time of filming. I've been very fortunate to be given an early review sample of the new Mini Basher MT, which is this guy that you see right here. Now the truck now comes with two different bodies that you can see here. We have the Bad Bug, which is this guy, and the Hellseeker, which is this guy. Now the Hellseeker very closely resembles the old Nitro Circus Mini Basher MT, which is this guy right here, which I've already done a review for quite a long time ago. Now I think in late 2015 or in the last 2 or 3 months of 2015, Hobby King actually discontinued that truck, but they did say at some point that they were going to re-release it. Well, it's been a very long time. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it, and finally, here it is. So, without further ado, let's crack into this box. I know a lot of you are dying to see what's inside, what changes have they made, what improvements have been done. Well, this one is the ready to run, so I did get a remote with it. Here is the truck itself, which is the Bad Bug, and of course you have some manuals and some instructions and things like that, which I'm going to go through very quickly with you. Getting rid of this ugly bubble wrap bag, you can see the remote. It's a very nice remote. I've unboxed this one recently. It came, the same remote came with the little mini rock stars, although it had some modifications for the four-wheel steering and all that. And recently it also came with the Desert Fox, the exact same remote. These are actually quite good. They run on 4 AA's, have a nice little rubber wheel on here, no collapsible antennas to break off, and of course you have usual trimmings on the back here. So you have reverse switches, binding button, there's a steering trim, throttle trim and steering dual rate, as well as an on and off switch of course. So that's the remote. We'll pop this guy aside. There's a bind plug as well as an antenna tube, and you will need the antenna tube, because the receiver actually has a little cable, so you'll need that. In this bag you get a bunch of goodies. Now I'll quickly get rid of the bag and we'll run through these very quickly. We'll leave the manual till last, and let's have a look here. We have the manual for your remote, so if you want to know how to set it up or bind or anything like that, there's instructions in there to do that. We also have a sticker sheet, and there's also a little diagram down the bottom here, so you can, decorate the car accordingly, put as many or as little stickers as you want on the buggy. So that's always good. I'm always a big fan of that because it allows the end user to customize the look of their car. And then you might see this little piece floating around with a bit of double-sided tape, and you think, oh geez, they've broken something off and now they want me to stick it on. Not quite. What this is a little tiny spoiler that goes on the back here. You can attach it with some double-sided tape. Hopefully you can see that. Now you might notice that this is slightly discolored. It looks a little bit greenish, whilst this is more of a tan color. The reason being is because it comes with a protective plastic on it, and the body also had that plastic. I did remove the plastic prior to filming so that you could actually see the true color of the body, but when you get it, it'll have a bit of a greenish tinge to it. Make sure you kind of scrape it off with a bit of a fingernail and peel that protective film on before you apply your stickers. Just a word of caution there. So that's what this little guy is for. We'll pop that aside, and last but not least we have the user manual. Now you have a look at this guy, you think, Jesus, what have they been doing? Writing a bestseller. Look at this, look how thick this is crazy. Now when I looked at this, I thought, oh, okay, they've written this in about 20 different languages, and there's really only a couple of pages that are for English, and there's languages all over the place. But that is not the case. It's actually all written in English, but it is extremely well illustrated, and it shows you exactly how to assemble, disassemble, tune, fix, put together, all of this sort of stuff. I mean, it is a full-on, proper instruction manual for this new little Basher monster truck. Very, very impressive. It actually says in here, and I'll see if I can find a page that will tell me without flicking through too many. Here we go. Open parts bag B. Now that is interesting because I'm just wondering, are Hobby King going to be releasing this as a kit perhaps? Because it would be cool to be able to get this as a kit, and people would have fun putting it together and be able to assemble it the way that they want. I don't know if that's going to happen. Don't quote me on anything. I just noticed it in the manual and I thought it was interesting. So it's probably just a generic manual for the manufacturer of the truck. They use it. I don't know. So that's what it is. Now, let's look at the truck, because I know you're all dying to have a bit of a better look at it. I know it doesn't have any stickers. It looks a bit bland without any stickers, but I'll give you the once around just so you can have a bit of a look at it. All right, let's take the body off, because I know you're all dying to see underneath. It doesn't look all that different underneath. You'll probably pick up that there's a different rear body post here, and even the front body posts are actually a little bit shorter. That is because I've got this body on it. If you were to get the Hellseeker, the other monster truck body, you would probably have the same body posts that came on the Nitro Circus Mini Basher. So that's just something to keep in mind there. What they have changed, which I know a lot of people are probably wanting to find out, is they've actually addressed the issues of the short dog bones on the front and rear of the truck. So they're now well inside the drive cups. There is still, well, there's not a lot of slop in the front, to be honest with you. They don't really wiggle around too much in the front. So in the front, they're actually quite long. In the back, there is a little bit of play. You can hear that there's a little bit of play, but they're still well within the drive cups, and I don't see them popping out the way that they've done this. So it looks as though that's one issue they've addressed, and yeah, very good. Good on you, Hobby King, for doing that, because I know a lot of people lost dog bones, and I did bring that up in my review as well. Still has the same plastic shock caps that the original truck had, and of course it has this little shock back here for your wheelie bar. Now if you leave this fairly soft, what tends to happen is as you wheelie, it'll sort of compress and then push the truck back forward again. So if you don't want to really do a lot of wheelies, you can leave it as it is pretty much. But if you do want to hold the wheelie, what I found is you tighten up this spring, or even put some slightly thicker shock oil in here, and then that way it needs a lot more force to compress and push the truck back forward, and it's more likely to kind of hold its position a bit, and you'll be able to sort of hold the wheelie a bit longer if that's what you want to do. So just something there to keep in mind. Still has these same wheels, very nice pliable rubber on these tires, really grippy, real sticky. I never really had an issue with the tires on the original little mini Basher, so I'm quite happy for them to stick with the same wheels and tires here. So very, very nice. Does have an adjustable servo saver, and I do advise anyone that buys these trucks to tighten down that servo saver, because you'll find that you'll see here that the tires or the wheels will actually turn. I don't know if you'll see that on camera. The wheels will actually turn before the servo saver actually catches up. What that means is that you kind of, it feels like you have really sloppy steering, and the first thing people are going to think, oh, you know, the servo is no good. It's not the case. It's actually the servo saver that's just really loose, and you need to tighten it down a little bit just to have a little bit more accurate steering, and that way not every bump that you come across is going to point the truck in a different direction. The servo will actually hold its position a little bit more. Now, battery compartments, you can see it has two battery compartments just like the old one, and it has two plugs, which means it still runs on 4S. The motor is a 2800 kV brushless motor. I believe it said on the box that the ESC is the 35 amp ESC, which is quite small, but it you know, holds the power very nicely. And this guy, it's not super fast. A lot of people thought that this, and even I thought that this was going to be a ballistic truck on 4S, but it wasn't. It was a lot of fun. It was geared correctly. The power system actually worked very well, and it wasn't totally crazy. It wasn't blowing out diffs and things like that constantly, which was a good thing. So Hobby King actually, they've done a little bit of research and they've done this right. Now you may notice that there's a screw missing here on this cover, and I've done this purposely because this is one of the biggest changes that they've done to this truck, and I'm going to quickly remove this cover and show you exactly what they've done. See if I can get it out here. Now the central transmission now has, if I see I can get the light to shine on it properly, right down in there is a slipper clutch, where the other one did not have a slipper clutch. Now they did send me a independent slipper clutch. I'm going to actually install this one into my old Nitro Circus Basher. So I'll bring this up to the camera. Hopefully the camera will do its job and focus in on it, and you'll actually see how it works. The spur gears on this are actually a really tough nylon. So they are plastic, but they're very different from the original ones that I had. I think I was told that the you know, because I had a problem with my original transmission where the gears just completely disintegrated after the first run. They told me that they had, I think the very first few trucks they had that problem. I know that I wasn't the only one that had that problem, but yeah, it was after that they fixed the plastics on those gears and it's been fine, but it looks as though they've changed them again. They've made them a little bit harder wearing. It looks like the type of spur gear that you'd find on a 1/8 scale buggy. That's the type of plastic that it feels like. So it feels nice and tough and strong. These white ones though, I'm not sure. I haven't used these white ones before. Hopefully they're just as nice and just as strong, and they should last. But that is essentially what the transmission looks like. And the slipper clutch, as far as I can tell, is not really adjustable unless you remove this cover and you can tighten down those screws in there, which is a bit of mucking around to get to. So I think they've got this done up, you know, fairly tight. There's just enough sort of slack in there to give you a bit of slip if you need it. So that's the new addition that they've done to this truck. All right, aside from that, as far as I can tell, the shock towers are the same, the A-arms, both upper and lower A-arms look exactly the same. The bumpers look very much the same as the old one. The center drive shafts, I think, are actually thicker than my original truck. Let me just have a quick look here. I'll just quickly remove the body so I don't damage this. No, they're the same. Okay, so the center drive shafts are the same. You can see both trucks there side by side. Everything, well, this one's upside down, so let me see if I can get this to line up, and you'll be able to kind of pause the video, maybe. There we go, you can pause there if you want to have a quick look and see if there's any differences. I had a nice close look. I couldn't really see any differences between the two, aside from the body posts because of this body, and obviously the slipper clutch. And what else was there? The dog bones, of course, were one of the biggest issues as well. But you've still got adjustable toe, adjustable camber, front and rear. There are no adjustable body posts again. I would have liked to have seen that. I'm not entirely sure if the gearing is the same on this. I don't know 100%, but of course I will be testing this out on top speed and just seeing exactly if it's any quicker than the old one, depending on how they've geared it. So that will be an interesting thing to find out. But that's pretty much it. I mean, you have a central transmission, you got front and rear diffs, and the diffs, according to the manual, I don't know if I'll be able to find it quick enough, but I was having a bit of a sneaky peek before. The diffs do have 3 spider gears inside. If I can find the page that I saw them on, that would be really cool. But I don't think I'm going to be quick enough, because just talk amongst yourselves, read a book, look up Facebook while I quickly do this. Oh, here we go. Yeah, found it. All right. So you may be able to tell that actually has 3 spider gears in there, and you can see them just there. So very interesting design on these diffs, but yeah, good to see that they've actually got what appears to be a nice solid front and rear diffs. I certainly never had any problems with my truck in regards to the diffs. It was more the dog bones, and initially it was the gears, you know, all these little gears in the transmission, which of course then once they got replaced they were fine. They haven't given me any issues. Alright, so let's put the body back on. That is pretty much it for this unboxing. You have the truck, you have the remote, you have a new body, an updated Mini Basher MT, which I know a lot of people have been asking me about, and finally I get to show it off on the channel ahead of time. So keep an eye out on the Hobby King website for when this guy is released. I don't know what the pricing is going to be like, but as soon as the truck is released and I have links available, I will put them in the video description for you to check out. So if you're watching this now and there's no links in there to the truck, I'm sorry, it's because it's not available as of yet in the Hobby King website. But that is it from me, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing and you got a bit of useful information about the new Mini Basher MT from Hobby King. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to get this guy ready, put some stickers on it, and yeah, take it out for a bash.